Hey fish friends, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. And I guess by the time this video comes out, it will be the very first video on my channel in the new year, 2020. So anyway, for those of you that have been watching my channel for some time, thanks for hanging out with me. For those of you that are new to my channel, thanks for stopping by. Before I start in the topic of this video, I do want to mention that this is not a paid sponsored video, but the product that I am talking about today, I did receive for free. I didn't pay for it, so it's mine to keep. And just want to disclose that and make all of you comfortable, letting you know where I got it and etc. So anyway, today I'm going to talk about central air pumps in an aquarium room, or a fish room as we often call it. In this room, this is down in my basement. As you can see, it's pretty insulated. So for those of you that have been following my channel for a while, you kind of know the progression of this room over the past couple of years. But I do want to mention also that the sound quality on one of my recent videos was not very good at all. I am using a very expensive microphone, a good microphone, but the acoustics in here are not very good. It's kind of like all the sound can reflect off of these corners, and it's not great. So Corey from Aquarium Co-op is actually trying out these acoustic blankets that he bought. So if they work out, I might end up hanging some acoustic blankets in here to kind of make it sound a little bit better. It's going to look a little bit better too. Some people do comment that the silver walls look like I'm inside a refrigerator or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see if those blankets work. If they do, then I'll probably buy some. But in the very least, I'll probably buy some acoustic panels and kind of stick them around to make your experience a lot better, so that the sound is better than it has been. So with that being said, I'm in my fish room. I've got 23 tanks down here currently, and they're all running on a central air pump. So if you look right here, you can see, so behind this curtain there's a pump, and the pump basically pumps air through this PVC system. And then there's a bunch of valves like this. And those valves, I can connect an airline tube to them, and basically I connect an airline and drop it into the tank, and I can run a sponge filter, I can run a box filter, I can run a Zis filter, a moving bed, etc. So air is a very efficient way to run aquariums, as I talked about, or filtering aquariums, which I talked about recently in one of my sponge filter videos. So anyway, I'm going to put a new air pump in. Now I currently run a Gemco, I forgot the exact model. It's like a DAP30 or something like that. It's a diaphragm air pump. It's not a linear piston pump, and it's the 30, so it's rated to run around 30 to 35, you know, filter, something like that. But I am running a new filter very soon, or a pump. It is called the Fuji Max. It's by a company called Fuji Max. It is the, let me grab this thing here. It's quite heavy. Bear with me. Ugh. This is the Fuji Max, and this one is the Mac 60R2, and it pushes about 60 liters per minute, which is why the name is 60, or 2.1 cubic feet per minute. It's 37 watts. It's made in Japan by a company called Fuji Max. And my understanding is that this is going to be rebranded in the United States, and it's going to be rebranded under Hikari. I guess Hikari owns this brand. So it's going to be sold as a Hikari brand, or it might be sold as like Aquarium Solutions. I'm not sure exactly on the branding. But anyway, they sent me this, Fuji Max sent me this air pump, and asked me to, you know, take a look at it, share my thoughts with them, let me know what I thought about it, since they're trying to get into the aquarium hobby. And so I'm going to hook it up to my system, and we're going to see how it does. Now, my Gemco model is very efficient. It's running well. All my sponge filters are blowing plenty of air, so I don't have any issues. And I even have the rebuild kit for it. But it's always good for me to have a backup air pump should something fail, because it is basically the life system for all of my tanks down here. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the Fuji Max, and we'll see how that runs for a while. And then we'll always have two air pumps in case one fails. We'll always have a backup. And I plan on always keeping at least 2 air pumps with a rebuild kit. One thing I do want to mention is this is not like a normal air pump that you would connect just regular airline tubing to. So they have a very large outlet. So you can see right here, that I forgot the exact diameter. It's probably like a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch. But anyway, you would use like a coupling and connect that to PVC so that you can you know, channel it through a larger system. So originally these are like used for like septic systems and wastewater treatment and things like that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera down, set this up, and we'll check back and see what it looks like. Well, it was pretty easy to swap out the two. I basically just had to make sure that I was unplugging the right plug and plugging in the right plug, and just switching over the fitting for between these two pumps. So it probably took me about 3 minutes to swap these, so very, very easy. And as you can see, the bubbles are flowing just fine. Now I can't really measure the output of the you know, how much air is coming out of each air stone and sponge filter. That's not something that I could really measure without having like some sophisticated flow meter or something like that. But what I can tell you is this is the old pump. This is the Gemco DAPM-H30, and this one does 44 liters per minute or 1.5 at 1.5 psi, and the other one does 60 liters per minute. So a considerable amount more potential output. What I also was interested in is that this one is a little bit louder, so I hooked up, I put a decibel meter up on my phone, same distance, and tried both of them. And this one was about 3 or 4 decibels higher or more sound than the Fuji Max. Basically, the FujiMac puts out more air and makes less sound. So the only thing I don't know would be, let me put that down, it's heavy. The only thing I don't know is energy consumption. I don't know how much more energy consumption one is going to have versus the other, and if that's going to be noticeable. Is it going to be, you know, $2 or $3 a month, or is it going to be significantly higher? So that will be something that I'll just kind of keep an eye on, but it's hard for me to measure that unless I had like some type of energy meter for that outlet, which I don't. But otherwise, I think it's pretty negligible. I do believe that the Fuji Mac / Hikari is more expensive than the Gemco. So if budget is something that is a concern of yours, then I would definitely, you know, look for a, you know, pre-owned option out there, or, you know, maybe get a Gemco if you only need a smaller pump. But if you do need a larger pump that is diaphragm driven, that is going to be able to put out a fair amount of air but not a lot of noise, then the FujiMac might be something that you might be interested in. I don't know where to buy them currently. You can look it up online. I believe that they're still working on distribution, and I think it's going to be under Hikari. So anyway, look for those in the future. If you guys have a Fishroom, if you've got multiple tanks and you need to just kind of run everything off of one air pump, it would be the way to go. That would be my recommendation. Because even if you wanted to use like a couple of canister filters, which I have in this Fishroom, I've got a canister filter on the 90-gallon Peacock tank, and I have a canister filter in the waterfall tank with the Indian mudskippers. But otherwise, you know, pretty much everyone else is running only on air. There's no other filters. So if you do have multiple tanks, you know, 10, 15, 20, 30, etc., I would suggest running a central air system, plumbing it all in, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. And getting a central air pump and just doing it that way. And if you do want to run a couple of hang-on backs or canister filters, things like that, you can always do that as well. So anyway, I hope you like this video. A lot of talking, but you know, sometimes I just have to talk and be informative and let you guys know what's going on, and I can't just be showing footage of fish on these kind of videos. But anyway, that's all I had to say about this. Hope you like it. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Check me out on Instagram too, Tazawa_Tanks on Instagram, and all that good stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you have a great 2020. Catch you on the next one.